Okay, my fellow YouTubers, this is my garden and I'm going to show it to you and see if you guys have any information or info you can share with me, since I am new to this game. I've had these growing for a while. As you can see, I've got my thyme back over there, and some oreganos. Now they're looking kind of skimpy. They've been looking that way for a long time, and I've kept them in my pots, these little pots here, and they haven't really been doing much other than surviving. So if you have any information on what I can do to assist that, I'd love to hear about it. My rosemary right here, as you can see, it's been the same, except now it's actually starting to grow. It was just a little stump, now it's actually starting to grow. I'll show you another one over there that has the stump. I have my spearmints, as you can see, growing and flowering, discolored a little bit, but I don't know why. I think it's natural. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they're growing pretty good and they work just fine in my mojitos. As you can see, I've got some more spearmint here and here. I have, obviously, as you can see here, some mangoes. I got a bunch of mangoes trees. Those are doing fantastic. I pluck out the occasional fungus that's in the dirt. Just so you know, I use Miracle-Gro potting soil. I have here the only sage plant that I had that survived. It smells amazing and it is just wonderful. It looks like an odd angle, but I'll fix that when I put it into a bigger pot. I'm getting ready to transplant that in a little bit. Back over here you can see my hot peppers and habaneros that I have growing. They're all labeled in all little pots. I just transplanted them, I want to say 3 days ago, and I put them in little pots. I did have them in the little seedling containers. I'll show you examples of the ones I didn't transplant yet. And these are my little pots on those. As you can see, I have my big boy tomatoes growing over here. These are ready to put in the soil, but these belong to a friend of mine, so I got to get it to him real quick so he can put them in the dirt. These are my habanero peppers. As you can see, I put a whole lot of seedlings in there. Not a lot of them grew. I left them in here to see if they grow. I have quite a few that already started to germinate. They're doing pretty well. This was a gift from my mom. I have no idea how to take care of bamboo. Obviously it's dying and I've been researching and I can't figure it out. Here is that rosemary. I planted both at the same time, and as you can see, this one just refuses to grow. I have no idea why. I literally stopped watering it because I heard that too much water is really bad for it. And as you can see, the soil is still quite moist and feels very cool to the touch. I'm considering putting it in the sun to see if that'll help, but I also heard that half sun is what it needs, and I only give it morning light sunlight to let it grow. It has survived, but that's all it's doing, is surviving. This is new. This is my soybean plant. It's actually doing quite well, and as of today it started flowering. As you can see, there are some flowers growing there. They're beautiful. It's not wet. I heard you're not supposed to touch the leaves when they're wet, but it's not wet, so they're good. I'm being very careful, looking for fungus in the whole nine. These are other seedlings that I have that are other hot peppers, and a few of them have started to sprout over here, but the water I'm feeling is kind of cool, which is not, from what I understand, what they like. They like it nice and hot, so I may have to transport them into the sun and see what happens. I have my emerald bay leaves. I have 3 of them. One's a gift to my brother. That's the second one, and then the third one's over there, and this is my regular bay leaf. Now I couldn't start these from seeds. Everything else I have is from seeds, but these I bought. And when I bought them, they had these smaller leaves, and I was like, wow, I've seen, much bigger bay leaves because I am Hispanic and I do cooking. Well, I put it in my Miracle-Gro pot of potting soil, and I put it in this larger pot. I transplanted it about a day after it got here. I let it adapt to the temperature out here. And as you can see, the leaves that are coming out now are huge. So I have no idea what they were planting this thing in. But when I gave it the better soil and some decent sunlight, again, I only use daylight sunlight for the half the day, and then I leave it out, and then it has shade for the rest of the day because it's pretty hot down here in Miramar, Florida. That is one of my pepper plants. I'm not sure if it's red or green. I accidentally mixed them, so I can't really tell which one's which, but I do have one in the garden that has already a red one really growing pretty decently. Also, I did start, as you can see, this one is a pepper plant looking pretty good, but I did have these pepper plants as well. Something ate this one, and it's not growing anymore, so I'm not sure if it's a lost cause or what, but these pepper plants have not grown. I left them with water. The soil's damp, so I don't add any more water, but they just will not grow. And I have a lot of cantaloupes, and there's something weird about the cantaloupes that were left over that are in pots that I'm taking away from all my other plants. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it, but they have this black stuff on the leaves, and all the soil is covered in this black stuff. I'm guessing it's a fungus. I don't know. I'm trying to see if the sun you can see it better. I don't know if you can see that better, but it's like it looks like it's covered in ground pepper. And I put one already over here to separate it from all my plants because I don't want it to spread, but it seems to be isolated only to my cantaloupes, the ones that were left over, so the ones that were not big enough to put into the dirt. And there are some things moving around in that water, so I don't know if those are worms or if they're just mosquitoes, because we have abundance of mosquitoes out here. I want nothing to do with these guys, so I'll let that just sit on the concrete and let the sun do to them what needs to be done. And that's pretty much it for this part of my garden. I transplanted a lot of my tomatoes over here. As you can see, there's a bunch of tomatoes, and I also have, as you can see here, my jalapeno plants. You can see some jalapenos. There's a nice one right there, another good one right there, and there's a whole row of them all the way to the back. I got some two nice beautiful ones over here. They're quite delicious, spicier than normal jalapenos. I'm not sure if it's because I grew it or because of anything else, but I have all my other tomatoes right here, and they're pretty small. I didn't want to put stakes in the ground just yet, but they are starting to bend, so I'm going to have to put stakes in the ground and or use a trellis, one of the two, pretty soon. I also have, as you can see, my other cantaloupes, which seem to be doing very well. They're flowering and whatnot. They are just starting out. I have this one up against the fence, so that way, you know, I can have them growing up against the fence, and my wonderful little pinwheels to keep the birds away. It actually works. Not super effective, but it does work. I have some more peppers over here, some more cantaloupes, some more cantaloupes, some more cantaloupes slowly growing. These, for whatever reason, are growing really slow. And these are my peppers. Now, this is where you guys need to help me out. Something ate that one. I'm not sure what it is. And it ate that, and it also ate a couple of cantaloupes that I had in those pots. And I don't know what it is, and I really don't like using pesticides. So if you guys can help me out and tell me what I can do to stop that, you know, I would love to hear it. These are my, we call them cebollines. They're not scallions, but they're not full onions. It's just the onion stalk. I guess it is no, not really scallions. It's just an onion stalk. And it's very, very delicious, and that's what I got growing in those pots. And last but not least, I have my last 3 pepper plants flowered up, nice and beautiful. This one hasn't flowered yet, but it's going to soon. This is the one that has that wonderful red pepper that is growing quite nicely. It has gotten to that size in a matter of 4 to 5 days. It is absolutely beautiful. And it's got a little brother somewhere up here that is starting to grow. Oh, there he is. Right here. He is starting to grow out nice. And that's what I got there. This is a sour orange tree. Again, I don't know what's going on with this one. This is my father's plant, and as you can see, there is quite a few wrinkled leaves and browning and weird white lines, and I'm not sure what is wrong with it. I've looked a lot on the internet. I can't seem to find anything specific. I find everything from the citrus disease to everything else out there. I don't know what it is. Is it a bacteria? Is it a fungus? Is it a disease? Is it curable? Should I kill this plant? I don't know. We love sour oranges, and I would love to know how to fix this. So if anybody out there has anything they can help me with on this one, I am all ears. So thank you again, YouTubers, and I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Pablo, and this is my garden.